Hi, I'm Emily. Before we dive into my story, make sure to hit like and subscribe for more real-life tales. Now, let's get into it. I met Jack at the office 7 years ago. While I grew up in a modest household where we celebrated every small achievement because it meant so much, Jack came from a world of wealth and privilege, where luxury was taken for granted. Our worlds collided on a typical Monday morning during a meeting, and despite our differences, we clicked instantly. Jack was unlike any guy I had ever known. His genuine kindness and ability to make everyone feel important drew me to him. But things were more complicated when it came to his family. His mother, always impeccably dressed in designer outfits, and his sister Lisa, who mirrored her mother's every attitude, saw me as a reminder of Jack's departure from their high-class norms. Really, Jack? You could date anyone and you choose someone from. Where did you say you were from again, dear? His mother would ask, her voice dripping with disdain, her eyes full of judgment. But Jack was always in my corner. It doesn't matter where she's from, Mom. Emily is amazing, he would defend, squeezing my hand under the table during every family dinner that felt more like a tribunal. Lisa's jealousy was impossible to ignore. Must be nice, snagging a rich guy to solve all your problems, she'd sneer when we were alone, making me question my place in Jack's world. Despite the chilly reception from his family, our relationship flourished. Jack proposed, and I said yes, dreaming of a future where love would eventually soften his family's harsh edges. But as our wedding day approached, their condescension turned into attempts to sabotage our happiness. I just don't see what you see in her, Jack, Lisa would argue, trying to plant seeds of doubt. She's clearly not one of us. But Jack would always reassure me later, away from their prying eyes. Don't listen to them. I love you for who you are, not where you come from. The day I found out I was pregnant was pure joy. Jack and I had been hoping for this news, and seeing that positive test, we couldn't wait to share it. We decided to announce it at a family dinner, hoping it would be a moment of celebration that might bring everyone together. As dishes passed and conversation flowed, Jack squeezed my hand under the table, a silent signal that it was time. Clearing his throat, he stood up, the clinking of his glass calling for silence. Family, I have some wonderful news. Emily and I are expecting our first child. The reaction was mixed, with some offering congratulations and others stunned into silence. But Lisa's face was marked by unmistakable resentment. Her tight-lipped smile never reached her eyes, and her words were tinged with bitterness. It must be nice being able to have kids, Lisa muttered under her breath, her voice barely a whisper but heavy with pain. Some of us aren't so lucky. I reached out, touching her arm gently. Lisa, hi. She jerked away. You wouldn't understand, Emily. This should have been me. Her words stung, but I knew her struggle with infertility was a sensitive topic. I had hoped our news would bring her some joy, but it seemed to only deepen her despair. The tension from that dinner lingered, and a few weeks later, during my baby shower, it reached a boiling point. Hidden behind a row of beautifully wrapped gifts, I overheard a conversation that chilled me to the bone. Just think about it, Jack. It could be a solution for everyone. His mother whispered, her voice low and conspiratorial. But Mom, it's our baby. Jack's protest was weak, his tone filled with conflict. Lisa needs this, Jack. It would solve so many problems. You and Emily can always have another child. My heart pounded in my chest as the reality of their words sank in. They were discussing giving my baby to Lisa. Tears blurred my vision as the betrayal cut deep. How could they even think about this? How could Jack? I stayed hidden until their conversation moved on to other trivialities, my mind racing. The rest of the shower passed in a haze. I smiled and thanked guests, all while my thoughts spiraled out of control. That night, I confronted Jack, but it didn't go as I had hoped. As soon as I brought up what I had overheard, he tried to downplay everything, insisting it was just a hypothetical discussion, not something they were seriously considering. It was just a conversation, Emily. We weren't actually planning to go through with it, Jack explained, his voice a mix of frustration and desperation. How can you even discuss our baby like that? How can you not see how wrong that is? My voice cracked, the hurt too raw, too deep to contain. Jack sighed, running his hands through his hair, a sign of his stress. I know it sounds bad, but you have to understand my position. Lisa has been struggling, and Mom, she just wants to fix things. By giving away our child? I shot back, incredulous. Does my opinion not matter? Am I just an incubator to your family? Jack paused, his expression pained. Of course not. You know I love you. It was just a suggestion. We wouldn't have done anything without your agreement. But the damage was done. The trust I had in Jack, in us, had been shattered. How could I believe in his promises when, behind closed doors, they were contemplating such a betrayal? I felt more alone than ever. The man I loved, the family I had tried so hard to be a part of, had let me down in the most unimaginable way. The realization that I was nothing more than an outsider to them, someone to be used for their own ends, was devastating. The nights that followed were sleepless, filled with tears and the echoing words of their conversation. During the days, I moved through my routines mechanically, each action a reminder of the facade my life with Jack had become. Jack tried to make amends, his apologies filling the space between us with more words but no comfort. Emily, please, let's talk about this. We can sort this out, he pleaded, his texts and calls becoming more frequent as I pulled away. But there was nothing left to sort out. The betrayal had cut too deep, the wound too raw and festering with each passing day. The home we had built together felt like a trap, lined with the echoes of whispered plans and broken trust. In the silence of our bedroom, staring at the shadows dancing across the ceiling, I made my decision. I couldn't stay, not with the weight of betrayal hanging over me, not with the constant reminder of what they had intended for my child. I needed to leave, to find a safe haven where my baby and I could start anew, free from the toxic ties that bound us to Jack and his family's manipulative schemes. With my decision made, the planning began in earnest. I reached out to my best friend Anna, who had always been my rock. I need to get out, Anna. I can't stay here. It's not safe for me or the baby. We'll figure this out, Emily. Let's plan carefully, Hannah responded immediately, her voice calm and resolute. Together, we crafted a meticulous plan designed to ensure my departure went unnoticed until it was too late to stop me. The urgency of the situation lent a surreal quality to the preparations. While Jack was at work, I packed each piece of clothing, every cherished photograph and essential baby items, quietly stowing them away in suitcases and boxes. Anna helped, her presence a comforting reminder that I wasn't alone. Make sure you take all the important documents, birth certificates, your passport, anything you might need, Anna advised as she checked off items from our list. Her practicality anchored me, keeping the waves of emotion at bay long enough to focus on what needed to be done. The emotional weight of leaving my life behind was overwhelming. Each drawer emptied, each memory packed away, felt like erasing parts of a past that once held so much promise. But with each item packed, my resolve strengthened. This was for my child, for our future, free from manipulation and deceit. By the time Jack returned home, the house looked as it usually did, but the essence of my presence was gone. The finality hit me as I zipped up the last suitcase. Ready? Anna asked, handing me a travel mug of coffee for the road. As I'll ever be, I replied, taking a deep breath as we loaded the car. The drive away from the house was a mix of fear and relief. I watched in the rearview mirror as my former life faded into the distance, a chapter closed with a silent vow to never look back. We drove to a small apartment Anna had arranged for me in a different city. It was modest but safe, a temporary sanctuary where I could gather my thoughts and plan the next steps. As I settled into my new apartment, the reality of my situation began to sink in. For the first time in years, I was truly on my own, starting over. The path ahead felt daunting, but the thought of my baby safe and sound in my womb gave me the courage to face whatever lay ahead. With the door of my new apartment firmly closed behind me and the sounds of a busy city outside, I felt the first stirrings of peace. Here, in this anonymous setting, I could rebuild, redefine, and reclaim my life on my own terms. The divorce proceedings were grueling. My lawyer presented the case, detailing Jack's family's intentions for my baby. The courtroom felt oppressively silent as Jack sat across the aisle, his expression a mix of regret and disbelief as his own texts and conversations with his mother were laid bare before the judge. It is evident that there was a plan to manipulate the custody of the child to benefit Mr. Jack's last name, sister against the wishes of the mother, my lawyer stated firmly, her voice echoing in the tense courtroom. Jack's lawyer attempted to downplay the situation, suggesting misunderstandings and family pressures, but the evidence was irrefutable. When the judge finally ruled, Jack was denied any form of custody, granting me full rights. It was a bittersweet victory, necessary yet heart-wrenching, knowing that it stemmed from such profound betrayal. Following the proceedings, I secured a restraining order against Jack's family. The relief that came with the court's protection was palpable. I was free, legally and emotionally, from the people who had tried to undermine my role as a mother. Now, in a new city, I focused on building a life for my child and me. Anna was instrumental during this time, helping me find a community of supportive friends and connecting me with local groups for single mothers. Her unwavering support was a constant reminder of the goodness in people, a stark contrast to the manipulations I had left behind. I settled into a routine, filling my days with preparations for the baby's arrival. Decorating the nursery became a project that brought me joy and anticipation. I chose soft, neutral colors and comfortable furnishings, creating a sanctuary for my new beginning. The support network I built was invaluable. They offered not just practical help, but emotional sustenance. We shared stories, advice, and many meals, creating bonds that felt more like family than some of my own blood relations had been. As I walked through the local park, pushing a stroller with my sleeping baby, I felt a sense of peace I hadn't known in years. The trees were lush and the path familiar, each step a testament to my resilience. I had made it through the storm, and here I was on the other side, my baby giggling at the sight of fluttering leaves. This new life was hard-earned but profoundly fulfilling. As I looked down at my child, I knew that every decision, every difficult step taken, was worth it. Here, in this quiet, simple life, I found my closure and my joy. I had not only survived, but I had also thrived, proving to myself that no matter the challenge, I could build a future of hope and love for my child, free from the shadows of the past. And that brings us to the end of Emily's story. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What do you think about the idea of family obligations versus individual rights? Should family always have a say in personal decisions, or is there a line that shouldn't be crossed? Drop your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. And if you found Emily's story compelling, please like this video and subscribe to our channel for more discussions like this. Your engagement helps us keep sharing these real-life stories.